VTM ni. Sebab baru pagi tadi nampak ada accident dekat junction nak naik ke stadium. Kan ada college kan dekat junction tu. Ada college nak naik ke stadium, ada accident dekat situ teruk juga. So you guys ni kalau bawa motor ke, bawa kereta ke dalam VTM ni, hati-hatilah. Okay. Jangan buat rempit dekat dalam universiti ni. Right. Okay. So let us do a quick recap of what we have learned last week. Okay, last week we have learned about the principles on how you want to answer problematic law questions. Apa nama dia punya principles? Apa nama principle dia? If you got the problematic law questions, what are the principles that you need to use? IRAC. Okay, excellent, Mutia. Okay, so IRAC stands for I apa? I itu apa? IRAC. I issue R. I issue R apa? R rules. Okay. A apa? Application. And another one is A conclusion. Okay, bagus. Okay, so ada issue, rules, application and conclusion. Okay, remember you have to use this rule if you want to answer problematic law questions, in which benda ni ada dekat dalam your test letter. Okay, apa lagi kita belajar last week? Kita belajar, we also have learned about Syarika Faiza and Faiz Rais. And then we also discuss a bit on the copyright part 1 kan. Okay, so the exclusive rights given to the copyright owner. Kalau kita tengok definitions of copyright dekat sini, dia kata exclusive rights given to the right holder. So exclusive right ni apa benda? Apa benda yang 5 hak eksklusif given to the rights owner? Apa benda? Ingat, tak ingat Okay, so these are the exclusive right given to the right owner to reproduce, communicate, perform, distribute copies dengan run commercially to the public, in which if you do all this without the consent of the copyright owner, meaning to say that you have already infringed their right. Okay, you dah infringe the rights of the copyright owner. Okay, kalau you dah infringe the right, you boleh kena saman lah. Okay, and then kalau kita tengok lagi rights holder for a certain duration. How long is the durations of the copyright protection? Berapa lama you boleh protect your copyright?
Sepanjang hidup.
Throughout the life of the author lagi?
After death.
Berapa tahun selepas kematian?
50.
50 years. Okay, good. 50 years after the death of the author. That one is for the literary art. Apa semua. Okay, what about sound recording and broadcasting? How long is the durations of the copyright? Beza kan? Literary tu lain, yang broadcasting ni lain. Berapa lama kalau untuk broadcasting? So recording and broadcasting, how long is the durations of the protection? Ingat tak? Berapa lama? Ingat? Jawapan dia ialah 50 years. 50 years from bila? From bila? 50 years from the date of publication. Okay, 50 years from the date of publication. Okay, and then we also discuss, okay, these are the categories of work which are protected under copyright. Literary, music, art, sound, film, broadcast. Okay, can we protect logo under copyright? Logo. Boleh tak nak protect?
No.
Forbidden, no. No tak boleh. Boleh ke tak boleh nak protect logo bawah copyright?
Logo bawah trademark ke?
Logo. Okay, ni ialah this is something else. Okay, logo is actually can be protected bawah literary copyright. Okay, logo for dekat sini. Artistic work bawah logo. Okay, dekat sini ada. Tapi at the same time, logo also can be protected di bawah trademark. Okay, jadi later kita akan tengok dua case with regards to this. Satu BP, another one is on the Dabu India Limited. Okay, kita akan tengoklah the relevant cases in which they do protect the logo under the copyright as well as under the trademark. Okay, and then we also discuss the originality requirement. We discuss the requirement for a work to be protected under copyright. Ada 3 requirement. Apa benda? Untuk you protect your work di bawah copyright, ada 3 requirement. Apa dia? Dia? Hello? Hello? Kenapa ni?
Originality.
Originality. Okay, so originality di bawah section 7, subsection 3, paragraph A. Okay, sufficient effort, skill or labor for di bawah requirement originality. Okay, yang kedua apa? Originality is not novel and it also must have sufficient effort. And then how do we know there is sufficient effort or not? Kalau dia ada skill, effort, skill, labor and judgment. Okay, second element apa dia? Second requirement. Copyright dia protect idea ke dia protect expression of idea? Hello? Dia protect expression of idea. Okay, kalau dia protect expression of idea, bermaksud dia the copyright must be must be written down. This one fall under section 7, subsection 3, paragraph B. Okay, it must be write down. Okay, yang ketiga, elemen yang ketiga apa benda? Requirement for a work to be protected under copyright. Apa benda yang ketiga? Boleh tak you nak protect copyright kalau it doesn't fall under these categories? Ada 6 kategori ni, kalau dia tak fall under these 6 categories, can you protect it under the copyright? Boleh ke tak boleh? Boleh ke? Tak boleh ke? Tak boleh. Okay, cannot. So, there are 3 requirement 3 requirement for a work to be protected under copyright. This one. Okay, originality must be write down. Maksudnya expression of idea, and the third one, it must fall within the categories of work entitled to be copyrighted. Okay, kita start dekat mana untuk kelas ni? Sorry, I tak ingat. Where do we start? Kita start kat mana? Kita habis kat mana gitu? I tahu kita masih lagi part 1, but I rasa that is among dekat-dekat sini lah, originality, expression of idea. Where exactly do we stop? Last page 10. Page 10. Oh, this one lah. Originality requires sufficient effort. Dekat sini Siapa yang cakap? Hazman? Muhammad? Dekat sini? Inilah. Right, so dekat sini, this is the originality requirement in which originality must have sufficient effort. Okay, how do we know there is sufficient effort ataupun tidak? If there is skill, effort and judgment. Okay, if that particular work fulfill all these 3 elements, means that there is sufficient effort. If there is sufficient effort, the work is original. If the work is original, means it can be protected under the copyright. Okay. And originality, there is no definitions of the originality under the Copyright Act 1987. So, since there is no definitions under the provision, we have to go to the case law. Okay, in the case of Raydon Sharding, the court held that, okay, in order for us to know that the work is original or not, it must be originated from the author. How do we know the originated from the author or not? Kalau ada skill, judgment and effort. That's all. Okay, itu je. Okay, then kita go to this. Originality requires sufficient effort. Just now, dia kata they must be originated from the author, in which originated from the author means this. Okay, in which section 7, subsection 3, paragraph A provides that sufficient effort has been expended to make the work original. Okay, sufficient effort. You dah spend sufficient effort to make the work original. Meaning to say that under this particular subsection pun, okay, under this particular paragraph pun, there is no definition on the sufficient effort. Tak ada dekat mana-mana sufficient effort tu, what are the elements constitute sufficient effort. In which we have to refer to the case of McNaway Enterprise. Dekat dalam case McNaway, court held that sufficient effort will link to the degree of effort, skill or labor. Ada 3 effort, skill or labor. But in this case, it use the word or. Bila dia guna perkataan or, the issue is it either or? Maksudnya, is it effort or skill or labor? Salah satu daripadanya ke? No, jawapan dia even though the court use the word or over here, but they further explain that all these elements should be read cumulatively. Maksudnya, court dekat dalam kes McNawe kata ketiga-tiga elemen effort, skill and labor ni must be existed in order for that particular work to be defined as the sufficient effort. Okay? Right, so we may refer to this case, Kiwi Brand and Nordic Water Product. Okay, what happened in the case of Kiwi Brand is that, do you know that, okay, dekat belakang, back label of any product lah, selalunya there is ingredients kan, list of ingredients macam ni, kat gula-gula ni kan. Nampak ni dia ada list of ingredients kat sini kan. So this is what happened dekat dalam case Kiwi Brand. Kiwi Brand insisted that the list of ingredients can be protected under the copyright. Dia kata the work is original and it has already constitute sufficient effort. Okay, kata Kiwi Brand ni because sufficient effort has been expended. So court asked Kiwi Brand, okay, how much time have you spent in order to complete this back label of the ingredient, in which plaintiff failed to show how much actual time was expended. Faham tak? Dia gagal nak tunjukkan dekat mahkamah berapa lama masa yang dia ambil untuk complete the back label of the ingredient, and due to that, court held that you did not fulfill the requirement of the sufficient effort. Kenapa? Sebab you gagal nak tunjukkan berapa lama masa yang dah siapkan. That one is under Kiwi Brand. Okay. Next ialah case Nordic Water Product. What happened in this case ialah Nordic Water Product, okay, plaintiff claimed that there is infringement committed by the Sam McCoy. Sam McCoy is the defendant. Okay, so Nordic Water Product claimed that Sam McCoy has committed copyright infringement. Jadi, in order for us to decide that whether there is infringement or not, first we have to decide, can the work be protected under copyright or not? Okay, sebelum kita nak decide, ya, telah berlaku infringement. Tapi sebelum kita nak kata telah berlaku infringement, we do have to decide whether this work can be protected or not. How do we know it can be protected or not? We have to discuss whether this work is actually original or not. Okay, dia original ke tak? Kalau dia original, barulah boleh protect bawah copyright. Kalau dia boleh protect bawah copyright, barulah dia boleh berlaku pelanggaran. Okay, that is actually the line of the argument. So the issue before the court was whether the design drawing were original, incorrect. Dia original ataupun tidak. In which, okay, the court held that in order to complete the drawing, it took a period of 5 to 6 years to complete the drawing. So completing the drawing took 5 to 6 years. Logically speaking, we can assume that there is already sufficient time, effort, skill and labor be expended in order to make the work original in character. Faham tak? Sebabnya dekat dalam kes ni, court kata kalau dah ambil masa selama 5 ke 6 tahun untuk siapkan the drawing, mestilah dia dah expend enough time. Mestilah dia dah exercise enough skill in order to make the work original in character. So, court decided that the work is original. Once the work is original, it can be protected under copyright. Once dah boleh protect bawah copyright, so court held that yes, there is infringement in this case. Okay, ada soalan? Tak ada. Okay. Seterusnya ialah originality is not equated with newness or quality. Okay, originality is not novel, it's not new. So that's why lah daripada textbook you can convert dia kepada module, dan from a module you boleh convert dia kepada framework, and these three entitled for 3 separate copyright. Okay, kenapa? Because originality under the copyright doesn't mean newness or it doesn't mean of high quality. Okay, under the paragraph A of section 7, subsection 3, Okay, this particular provision provides that the term original should not be equated with its ordinary meaning of the dictionary, which means new or innovative. Maksudnya, originality under the copyright di bawah this particular paragraph doesn't mean it's new or innovative. And this particular provision also has been used by the court in the case of Kiwi Brand, yang mana dia kata Kiwi Brand court held that Section 73A did not mean that the work must be expression of original or inventive thought. And also, court also has made a differences between the originality under the copyright and originality under the patent law and ID. Why? Because under patent law and ID, originality means that the work is novel, the work is new. No one, tak pernah lagi, no one in the world has ever created that particular invention. Itu barulah originality di bawah patent dengan ID. That's why court in the case of Kiwi Brand has made a differences between originality under the copyright dengan originality under patent law and ID. Okay, so to sum up, originality di bawah copyright means that it's not new. As long as it is sufficient effort, then the work is considered as original. Okay, we may refer to this case, Radeon Trading dengan Sin by Steam equipment. Okay, what happened in this case is that this is about the automatic swing gate actuator. Okay, automatic swing gate actuator. Okay, with regards to the drawing of the automatic swing gate actuator. Okay, the thing is that, okay, this automatic swing gate actuator has already been protected under patent. Okay, dia dah file for the protection for the automatic swing gate actuator. So the defendant claim that, okay, defendant argue lah, dia claim, dia kata, since this particular automatic swing gate actuator has already been protected under patent, it can no longer be protected under copyright. Okay, itu dia punya argument. Dia kata dah boleh pergi protect bawah patent, so tak bolehlah sekarang ni nak protect bawah copyright, kata defendant. But the court held that the issue in this case is on the technical drawings. Okay, technical drawings fall under the copyright. Okay, technical drawings fall under copyright, not under the patent. So you cannot limit the rights of the owner. It depends on them. If they want to protect this work under the copyright, then they also has the right under the copyright. Kalau dia nak protect bawah patent pun, dia ada rights over the patent juga. You cannot simply limit the rights of the inventor. Okay, so sebab itulah how the court rejected this argument on the basis that patent and copyright were two distinct field of IP. Dia berbeza. Jadi it depends on the inventor. You cannot simply limit their right. Itu what the court held that in the case of Radeon Trading. Okay, and then dalam case Kiwi Brand tadi, court kata apa? Originality require the work to originate from the author, and court gave an analogy. Dia kata perhaps two artists or two photographers ambil gambar benda yang sama. It may be identical and it may be infringing. Okay, the works may be original and may be at the same time infringing. Contohnya, kalaulah dua orang ambil gambar yang sama, okay, tapi the idea is the same but the expression is obviously different lah. Sebagai contoh, Amirul pergi ambil gambar Chancellery UTM, and at the same time Kamil pun pergi ambil gambar Chancellery UTM. Can we say that Kamil has infringe Amirul's copyright? Boleh ke tak boleh? Hello? Boleh ke tak boleh nak baca tu? Tak boleh. Kenapa tak boleh? Kenapa tak boleh? Hello. Kenapa tak boleh? Betul, jawapan dia memang betul lah. Dia tak boleh. Tapi why? Okay, kenapa? Sebabnya as per what the court held in the case of Kiwi Brand ni, sebab as long as the work is originated from the author, jadi dia masih lagi tak constitute infringement lah. Okay, dia boleh jadi sama, dia boleh jadi infringing. Kenapa? Sebab gambar tu perhaps nampak sama. Tapi since they originated from the author, then there is no infringement. Okay, isu dia, can mere label constitute sufficient effort ataupun tidak, in which court ambil different view in the case of Q Brand dengan Hadia Singh. Okay, different view Q Brand court decide lain, Hadia Singh court decide lain. Isu dia tadi kata sufficient effort, dia kena ada 3 elemen. Dia kena ada skill, effort and judgment. Sekarang ni, what if there is only label? Label sahaja. Boleh ke label tu dah jadi sufficient effort? Okay, tadi dekat dalam McNawi cakap lain. Okay, tapi kita tengok in the case of tables and compilation, can mere label constitute sufficient effort? In which, in the case of Q Brand, Abdul Malik Ishaq dia refer kepada section 7 subsection 3 paragraph A, which provides that sufficient effort has been expended. Jadi bila dia tengok perkataan sufficient effort dekat sini, okay, remember there is no definition of sufficient effort kecuali in the case of McNawi. McNawi je yang provides that sufficient effort must constitute of skill, effort and skill level and judgment. Itu dekat dalam case McNawi, not in the provision pun. Tapi, so that's why in the case of Q Brand, the court held that sufficient effort is sufficient. There is no need to add on the judgment and skill. Dia kata effort tu dah sufficient. Kenapa? Sebab section 7, subsection 3 only mention about the sufficient effort. Okay. Next ialah kes Hadia Singh. Okay, in the case of Hadia Singh, what happened ialah Hadia Singh has been hired to do has been hired as a consultant by the Government Custom Office. Okay, so apa yang dia buat ialah dia do the compilation of the document daripada dua dokumen. Ni dua dokumen. Dia combine-kan jadi satu dokumen. Okay, so dia compile jadi satu dokumen and dia susun ni in alphabetical order. Dia susun dekat dalam ABC lah. Okay, and then they claim that this new document yang dia dah susun ni, the compilation document, is entitled for the copyright protection and this was his copyright. Itu dia punya claim. Okay, so when the judge take a look at the document, court tanya, where is the skill? Court kata mana skill? Sebabnya mere listing of facts was not enough to make the work original. Court held that you list sahaja dekat sini and then you compile. Lepas tu you susun macam tu. You compile, you susun ikut ABC. So do you want to claim this under the copyright? In which court kata, oh tak boleh, yang ni tak boleh. There is no skill in order for you to complete this work. Okay, berbeza Dekat dalam Q Brand, court kata effort is sufficient. Tapi dekat dalam Hadia Singh, court held that effort is not sufficient. You have to prove skill as well in order for a work to be original in character. Alright, so next ialah reduction to material form. Ada soalan? Ada soalan? Tak ada soalan. Okay, tak ada soalan. Take a break for 5 minutes. This is actually with regards to short stories. Okay, Saleh has written a short story. Nama dia Zuriat. Sorry. Sekejap Okay, so this what happened in the case of Saleha? Saleha has written a short story. Nama short story tu ialah Zuriat. And then she published it in a local newspaper. Dia dah hantar pergi local newspaper and publish the Zuriat punya cerita lah. And then from that particular short stories, okay, she convert it into a script, a drama television script and send it to the third defendant. So Abdul Wahid bin Nasir ni is a television station lah. Okay. Dia ialah television station. Okay, so dia dah hantar that particular script to the television station, but unfortunately it was rejected. Okay, the script was rejected. However, 8 years later, 8 tahun kemudian, there is this story that had been broadcasted dekat second defendant, okay, via third defendant punya television station, namanya Zuriat juga. Okay, 8 tahun kemudian, keluar pula satu cerita nama Zuriat. Comparing between the Zuriat that was the drama and her script, okay, plaintiff claim that the storyline dia sama, plot sama, dialogue sama, karakter sama, semua sama. Okay, closely resemble her earlier work. Okay, looking at the similarity, court held that okay, there was actually infringement of copyright committed by the defendant. Itu ada dekat dalam kes Saleha lah. And one of the argument in this case is that the defendant argues saying that Saleha has not expressed her idea, in which court kata no, Saleha has already expressed the idea by converting the idea into a script. Okay, itu dah jadi expression of idea. Okay, next ialah kes Goya Tyre and Silverstone Tyre. Okay, ingat tak kes ni? Remember or not? Kes Goya Tyre dengan Silverstone. I rasa this is the second time kot I akan explain about this case. Okay, so Goya Tyre actually has created a tyre, a design drawing tyre. Nama dia ialah Aquatrack. Okay, Aquatrack. Aquatrack ni is the name of the tyre lah. And they claim that Silverstone has already infringed their Aquatrack tyre by reproducing the same similar tyre track design. And they want to apply for the interlocutory injunction. They dekat sini refer to the plaintiff, and Goya Tyre wanted to apply for the interlocutory injunction to do it to stop the defendant from continuing manufacturing the same tyre track design. However, the court rejected. Okay, the court rejected the argument saying that okay, copyright it does not protect the function of the tyre. Okay, if you want to protect the function of the tyre, you have to protect it under the industrial design, not copyright. And function is not protected. The idea related to the function is not protected by the copyright. Maksudnya dia salah bawa kes lah ni. Dia sepatutnya sue Silverstone on the ground that Silverstone has infringed their industry design, bukannya copyright. Okay, faham? Ada soalan? Ada soalan? Tak ada. Tak ada Alright, so I continue kepada qualification for copyright protection. This one is be provided under section 10. Okay. So factors for a work to be protected and in Malaysia, factors for work to be protected in Malaysia. Normally you guys suka nak confuse, okay? Salah, ramai student yang salah dekat sini. The questions, what are the factors for a work to be protected in Malaysia? Tapi you pergi jawab, yang you pergi jawab ialah requirement for a work to be protected under copyright. Yang 3 tu tadi. Originality, originality, expression of idea fall into the categories. Pergi jawab macam tu. Sebabnya, padahal that one is actually requirement for a work to be protected under copyright. Sekarang ni, we are talking about requirement for a work to be protected in Malaysia. You nak protect dekat Malaysia, these are the requirement. Okay. Status of water be provided under section 10, subsection 1. Okay, this one is section 10, subsection 2. Work made in Malaysia under subsection 3 of section 10, and government copyright is under section 11. Okay, so kalau you ingat dia punya susunan ni, status of water, place of publication, work made in Malaysia, and government copyright, there is no need for you to memorize the specific provision anymore. Sebab dia dah straight lah, 1, 2, 3, 4 macam tu. Alright, first is the status of author. Okay, pertama ialah status of author. Section 10, subsection 1 provides that, okay, copyright shall subsist in every work eligible to be copyrighted if you are a qualified person. Okay, section 10, kurungan 1 cuma cakap that you must be a qualified person. Okay, if you want to protect your copyright in Malaysia, you must be a qualified person. How do we know that particular person is a qualified person or not? Okay, we have to refer to section 3. Okay, section 3 define qualified person as any individual which is the citizen or PR of Malaysia, 1, or you are actually a body corporate established in Malaysia. 2. Okay. I ulang lagi sekali status of author. First is the status of author. Okay. Section 10, subsection 1 kata, if you want to protect your work in Malaysia, you must be a qualified person. How do we know you are a qualified person or not? We have to refer to section 3, in which section 3 provides that you must be citizen or body corporate established in Malaysia. Only then you can file for the copyright protection in Malaysia. Okay. However, okay, itu ialah general principle. This is the general principle. Tapi we got this exception. Okay, effect of the copyright application to other country regulation 1990. Kita ada exception ni, in which this exception provides that if it involve literary, musical, artistic work and film. Okay, literary, musical, artistic work and film. Okay, if you are a citizen or body corporate established under the Berne Convention, then you are also a qualified person. Okay, this is by virtue of regulation 3, paragraph E. Okay, faham tak? If it involves sound recording, then if you are a sound recording and broadcast, if you are a citizen or body corporate established under WTO country, you are also a qualified person. And if it involves published edition, okay, published edition, publisher is from UK, then that publisher also is considered as qualified person. Okay, general principle, you must be a qualified person. How do we know you are a qualified person? You must be, section 3 kata, you must be a citizen of Malaysia. Ataupun you must be a body corporate established in Malaysia. That is the general principle. But this copyright application to other countries regulation does serve as an exception. Dia dah jadi pengecualian. Pengecualian macam mana? If it involve literary, musical, artistic dengan filem, kalaulah that particular work was created by someone from a Berne citizen country, okay, so that particular someone is also considered as a qualified person. Okay, sama juga dengan sound recording, dia mestilah datang daripada WTO. Kalau publish edition, dia mestilah datang daripada UK. Kalau datang daripada Berne, WTO dan UK, you are also is considered as qualified person. Okay, jadi nak bagi contoh. Let's say lah, for example, Alex. Okay. Alex comes from Philippines. Okay. Alex daripada Philippines. And Philippines is a WTO country. Okay. Alex from Philippines. Dia punya asas ialah Alex from Philippines. Philippines is a WTO country. Ini dia punya facts. Okay. So Alex has wrote, okay, dia dah tulis satu buku. Buku dia, tak kisahlah apa nama buku. Dia tulis satu buku. And he want to file for copyright protection in Malaysia. Boleh ke tak boleh? Boleh ke tak boleh? I ulang dia punya facts. 1. Alex ialah datang daripada Filipina. Okay, Alex is from Philippines. And Philippines is a WTO country. Okay. Lepas tu, Alex telah tulis satu buku. And he want to file for the protection in Malaysia. Boleh ke tak boleh dia dapatkan protection dekat Malaysia? Boleh. Boleh sebabnya? Kenapa boleh? Hello? Regulation 4, subsection 1, paragraph E. Okay. Alright. Any other answer? Ada jawapan lain? Okay, good attempt. Member citizen. Okay, lagi? Ada jawapan lain? Tak ada. Yang cakap tak, kenapa tak? Yang cakap tak ni kenapa? Kenapa you rasa tak boleh? Must register in home country? Bukan. Bukan. Kurang tepat. Hanya untuk sound recording dan broadcast. Ya, itu jawapan dia. Okay. Because that one is for sound recording and broadcast. Remember the facts? Alex is from Philippines. Philippines is WTO country. And what he want to protect is a book. Book therefore di bawah literary. Okay. Therefore di bawah literary. So you have to make sure that Alex is actually from a Berne Convention country. Only then they are entitled for copyright protection di Malaysia. Okay. Right. Second is the place of publication be provided under section 10 subsection 2 in which if it was first published in Malaysia, then it can be protected in Malaysia lah. Okay. Ataupun work of architecture be erected in Malaysia or broadcast transmitted from Malaysia. Okay. Now we are talking about the place of publication. So if it comes from Malaysia or be made in Malaysia, jadi bolehlah dia nak protect in Malaysia. Okay, it can acquire copyright protection in Malaysia. Okay, publication and first publish. Right. So looking at this section 4 subsection 1 sebenarnya, okay, even though dia nampak macam lengthy, there are two requirement. Pertama, you have to get the consent from the copyright owner, and second ialah you have already satisfied the reasonable requirement for publication. So what is considered as reasonable requirement? Okay, macam mana kita nak tahu reasonable requirement that the work has already been published? Okay, dekat dalam case television broadcast, court held that, court kata apa? The release of sale of 6 copies of a song was sufficient. Okay, dah cukup sufficient to say that publication has happened. Okay, tak perlulah nak kata, it doesn't need to, you tak perlulah nak kata you kena publish 100,000 ke 1,000 copies of a song, only then it constitute publication. Jawapan dia tak. Reasonable requirement means that in the case of television broadcast, even though you release for sale 6 copies of a song is already sufficient to constitute sufficient requirement or reasonable requirement for publication. Okay. Second, you have to get the consent of the author. Okay, failure to get the consent means that you are actually infringing the copyright. One thing you have to know is that even though you breach of other law, it does not mean that that particular person does not get lose dia punya copyright ownership anymore. Okay, faham tak? Maksudnya kalau pun you langgar undang-undang, okay, even though you breach other law, you are still the copyright owner. Doesn't mean that if you breach other law, orang lain boleh ambil your copyright. Okay, so these are the judgment by the court in the case of Asia Television dengan Mediacorp News Private Limited. Okay, kita tengok Asia Television. Asia Television ni ialah dia ni daripada Hong Kong. Okay, so kalau dia nak publish dekat Malaysia, they actually has to get certificates. Okay, certificates from Censorship Board. Okay, as required under the Film Censorship Act 1952. Okay, Hong Kong film, you want to publish it in Malaysia, you have to get the certificate. The thing is that obviously Asia Television failed to get that particular certificates. Tapi court held that Abdul Kadir, federal judge, held that there was no law, tak ada law yang precluded A from acquiring copyright if they were otherwise qualified, even though they were in breach of provisions of the Film Censorship Act. Maksudnya tak ada law pun yang excludekan dia daripada nak dapat the copyright, even though they are actually in breach of the Censorship Board. Dekat sini nak katanya even though this appellant, okay, appellant fail to get the certificates from the Censorship Board, still they are the owner of the copyright if they are qualified to be the copyright owner. Macam tu cerita dia. Second ialah Mediacorp. Okay, Mediacorp News Private Limited dengan Mediabank. Okay, this is Mediacorp ni is a company from Singapore. Mediabank is a company from Johor. Okay, Mediabank ni dekat Johor, Mediacorp tu dekat Singapore. Okay, cerita dia, the fact is that plaintiff has a defendant for copyright infringement. Kenapa? Sebabnya what Media Bank do is that they compile and archive whatever MediaCorp has do dekat Singapore and then publish dia dekat Malaysia. So, plaintiff MediaCorp sue the Media Bank for the copyright infringement. Kenapa? Sebab dia dah publish without any license from them. Jadi itu dah consider sebagai pelanggaran. Okay, one of the argument in this case is that if you want to broadcast it in Malaysia, you have to get Malaysian license. You have to get the license in order for you to broadcast it in Malaysia. Kena dapatkan license. In which obviously MediaCorp did not get that particular license. But the court held that Singapore is a WTO country. So since they are WTO country, they are entitled for copyright protection in Malaysia. Macam itulah. Okay, next ialah first publication. Okay, I laju ke? Boleh follow? Okay ke tak okay ni? Hello? Hello? You guys, ada lagi ke? Tak ada lagi ni? Okay, fokus saya sebab ni test ni. Topik copyright dengan trademark, dia masuk dekat dalam test. Okay, so first publication, section 4, section 3. If you publish elsewhere, you publish lah dekat Indonesia ke, Thailand ke, Brunei ke, but within 30 days you come back and publish it in Malaysia, it is considered as first publication in Malaysia. This is by virtue of section 4, subsection 3. Okay. Alright, effect of the copyright application to other countries' regulation. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay, ni sama je, cerita sama ni dengan Astaghfirullahalazim. This is the same thing as per status of author tu tadi. Okay, if it involve literary, musical, artistic works dengan film, if that particular work were published in any of the Berne Convention country, then it is also considered as first publication in Malaysia. Okay, we can refer to Honda Chicken dengan Dabu India. Kalau dia sound recording dengan broadcast, dia mestilah dipublish dekat WTO country. Okay, Regulation 3A untuk Berne, Regulation 41A for the WTO. Kita tengok kes Honda Chicken ni. Honda Chicken, Kogyo, Kabushi, Hiki, Kaisha. Okay, this is Honda. Company Honda tu lah. Okay, what this company do ialah they publish their drawing untuk motosikal Honda tu dekat Thailand. Okay. They publish the drawing 2D, 3D tu in Thailand. Okay, and then Allied Pacific Motor, TU. Kalau you ingat lagi lah, dulu-dulu ada satu motosikal ni nama dia Manjaku. Jenama motor tu. Macam Honda EX5 kan. So Allied Pacific ni dia keluarkan motor nama tu Manjaku. Yang in which they copy daripada Honda Chicken ni. Dia copy betul-betul daripada Honda EX5. Okay, so the issue is that, the drawing was created in Japan by convention country. Jadi bila dia Berne Convention country, it is considered as first publication in Malaysia jugalah, walaupun dia publish dekat Japan. Faham tak? Sebab ni, we are talking about this one. Copyright application to other country regulation. Okay, if you have already published in Berne Convention country, it is considered as publication in Malaysia. Itu yang berlaku dekat dalam Honda. Okay, next ialah Dabur India. Okay, so Dabur India ni, dia merupakan a company based in India in which they sold trademark for Promise and Miswak. Untuk bak gigi nama tu Promise and Miswak. Okay, so and then they labels the product dijual dekat Malaysia. Okay, India is a Berne Convention country. Jadi bila India is a Berne Convention country, tadi kan copyright application to other country regulation tu. So bila dia Berne Convention country, obviously they got the publication in Malaysia juga lah. Dia dah extend the definitions of the first publication in Malaysia. So they entitled lah for the copyright protection dekat Malaysia. Okay, this one is for the sound recording and broadcast. Okay, Rock Records ni for the sound recording lah. Okay, Rock Record, plaintiff ni merupakan Taiwanese and Hong Kong company. Dia dah first publish dekat Hong Kong. Okay, and then they claim that defendant has infringed dia punya copyright. Dekat mana? Kenapa? By playing dekat karaoke. Okay. Defendant argue plaintiff did not have any copyright in Malaysia over the sound recording because they do not acquire the first publication dekat Malaysia. Itu argument. And since Taiwan ataupun Hong Kong is not signatory to the Berne Convention, okay, jadi they could not rely on the copyright application to other country regulation lah dekat sini ni. Dia bukanlah pada waktu tu dia bukanlah signatory lagi. Okay, so the court held that the Berne Convention does not cover sound recording. Okay, kenapa? Sebab Berne Convention, sound recording dia cuma di cover under WTO. Okay, dia bukanlah untuk Berne Convention. And due to that, okay, the plaintiff reliant on the convention to support their contention afforded copyright protection in Malaysia was flawed. Okay, so tak dapat lah. Sekarang ni, you kena tengok balik kat sini Copyright application ni, kalau sound recording and broadcast, if you are WTO country, only then you can claim copyright protection dekat Malaysia. Tu je. Okay. Berne Convention untuk literary, musical, artistic work dengan filem sahaja. Sekarang ni cerita dia ialah, okay, Taiwan ataupun Hong Kong, dia bukanlah signatory kepada Berne Convention. Dia bukanlah signatory kepada WTO pun. So, dia tak boleh dapatkan copyright protection dekat Malaysia. Macam tu je, cerita rock record ni. Okay. Third ialah work made in Malaysia. How do we know the work is made in Malaysia? Kan selalunya dekat produk tu dia ada made, perkataan made kan. In the case of Hexagon Tower, the court held that the word made in that particular design drawing denoted the time when the tumbler was actually completed. Okay. Cerita Hexagon ni with regards to the tumbler lah. Jadi ada perkataan made dekat situ means that that particular tumbler has already been completed in Malaysia. Next ialah government copyright. So government copyright actually dia serve as dia serve as exception to the general rule. Exception to the general rule yang tadi itulah status of author, place of publication, work made in Malaysia. Okay, tadi kata kena ada 3 ni kan. Okay. Tapi if it is actually an instruction from the government, okay, kalaulah dia instruction from the government, even though you are not Malaysian citizen, you are not one of the Berne Convention punya country ataupun WTO country ataupun not from UK. Let's say lah kata Ghana. Okay, you come from Ghana but you got the instruction from the government of Malaysia to create a work to be protected in Malaysia. That is still considered as copyright that can be protected dekat Malaysia. Kenapa? Sebab dia ialah made by or under the direction or control of the government. Jadi, Section 10 shall not be taken to confer copyright on works to which this section applies. Maksudnya dia nak kata Section 11 ni is actually exception lah. Even though you did not satisfy Section 10, Subsection 1, 2 and 3. Okay, but if it is actually under the instruction of the government, still it can be protected in Malaysia. Alright. Okay, ada soalan? Okay, so we take a break for 10 minutes. Kita mula balik pukul 3.10. Semua macam slow sikit. Okay, why not kita buat aktiviti ni? Actually with regards to what we have just learned. Kita baru belajar tadi je. Case for copyright infringement in Malaysia. Discuss with relevant case and sections. Okay. Okay, faham tak soalan dia ni? Okay, do this in a group. Okay, buat ni dekat dalam group. 4 to 5 members per group. Okay, so this is actually your group assignment as well. Okay, 4 atau 5 orang untuk satu group. You decide on your own who will be your group member. Okay, and then you buatlah. Tambahlah dekat cambuk ni sebelah apa semua ni. Okay, use iWrite. Okay, use iWrite. Issue, rules, application and conclusion. Okay, apply what we have learned just now. Faham tak instruction ni? Hello? Hello? I consider faham lah kalau diam tu. Okay, jadi I bagi you sampai 3:45 untuk buat ni. And then kita decide, kita discuss lah lepas tu. Alright? Okay tak? Okay. Doktor ada soalan kalau nak copyright protection. Sekejap tak nampak. Kalau nak copyright protection, kena comply with all the factors. Mana? Okay, kalau nak copyright protection, kena comply with all the factors atau comply dengan satu sahaja sudah cukup. Okay, satu sahaja dah cukup. Okay, only one of the factors is sufficient. Okay, Azman. Alright, Amiro tadi angkat tangan. Kenapa? Ada soalan ni ke?
Tak ada.
Tak ada Alright. Jadi, buatlah benda ni sampai 3:45 Okay. Okay tak okay ni? Hello? Alright, okay.